I wanted to share. I don't know if I shared my last vision board. I did a vision board class for our community, and I'm going to grab it. It's right here. But there was one piece of it that I was extra excited about that I want to share.
Yeah. Woo woo.
And I already shared what I did in the class. I did it in my journal.
Yeah.
So this was my board. So this is my business vision board. So I was excited to include like my new things. And then I also, since it was business, I was excited to share
Yeah.
like OP because I have all of my little like collaborations down here. But what I'm excited about, we were doing manifesting last month in our community. So um, one of the classes included a magic check. So it's a magic check from the universe. So I wrote it out to myself.
Yeah.
And then I made this little envelope that says to Amy from the universe. So it's just like waiting there for me to be ready to cash it. And
I
then
love
other
I love
things
the animate, like that you can move it. I love that it's like an envelope.
Movement. Yeah.
Brought it to life.
And then here I have these stickers which are like for travel, and I haven't traveled in forever. And it says destination, and I wrote the world. And then for depart, I just wrote now in all caps.
That's awesome.
I love it. So you have how many different vision boards? You said this is your business one.
So yes. So, and I was sharing at one point. I know we talked about this when I was getting ready for this because I was in a workshop 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and we were asked to do 3 vision boards. One was what in my past has brought me to where I am now, which will always be the same. One was who am I, which was fun to look at because except for the fact that like my boys are older, and I have 2 dogs instead of 1, like the who am I is exactly the same. And the third one was the vision for my business, which is totally like been there, done that. Like had the celebration, what's next. So when I did this vision board, it was a continuation, like what's next from that first one that I did 3 years ago. And that was the first time I had done a business vision board. So I'm really excited. And there are actually a couple things I pulled. So this one that says anything is possible, I took off that first business vision board. And this one that says my goal is to build a life I don't need a vacation from, I pulled that from there. And everything else is new. So
Yeah.
and that brings
That's
us to
amazing.
10 past. So
That's
let's get
awesome.
her done, girls.
Let's get her done.
There we go. So we have some magic minutes to open the floor for some mastermind opportunities in how we are stepping out in courage and maybe how that's going with our vision. Since this is the vision hour, let's see. When we think about our vision of you know, what we are focused on, whether that is in the vein of business or life in general, health, any of those categories, like in your personal vision, when you're thinking about the steps that we need to take to, bring it to fruition, to have it happen, have it be the reality that our vision of the vision that we hold. How are you able to channel, being courageous through that? What's a reminder that you have that is that encouragement, that you are stepping towards what you want, your desire of your vision. How are you being courageous in that? What's sort of the reminder that you are in fact taking courageous steps that supports you? Anything come to mind?
I think for me, a lot of my vision and inspiration comes from wanting to support others. So knowing that what I'm working on is bigger than just me, and like being fueled by that, um, like service to others.
Yeah, I like that. That has been the theme in the last, 48 hours for me with talking about the aim, where we're aiming to serve, how we're aiming to move forward in the vision that we're building, and how we're able to stay focused on it. Is a huge part of that, is that we know it's to serve other people. And I think that really does help. I agree that really helps us like continue to take those tiny steps on a daily basis to say, that's where the inspiration is. That's the eagerness that we were talking about this morning, to want to create something bigger than ourselves, is that it is for more than ourselves. It's for us, and it's to serve outside of ourselves. So I love that.
I think there's some wisdom around that particular concept that comes with time. Because I think all of us in OPWP have a servant heart. That's why we come together, because it nourishes our servant heart to serve one another and to be served. I mean, service has to be reciprocal, just like love. We have to give and receive. So in service, I think maybe what keeps us from having the courage and being inspired to move forward is that we perhaps are heavy on the side of serving others and not receiving service. And I think that might sometimes put up a little bit of a roadblock to us moving ahead, because we lose our energy and we lose our momentum because we've expended so much of it towards serving others. Does that make sense? I mean,
Yeah.
I know that happens to me. I'll just get so tired that when it's time for me to take care of me, I don't have any energy left. So it's not that we have to, there just has to be some kind of reciprocity in that process. Receiving service as well as giving service. And that's just, I've learned that through the years.
Yeah, that's wisdom right there, to know that and to be aware of that, because well, speaking of vision, like this community is the vision for that, right? The ebbs and flows of life, the ebbs and flows of daily life. That's why we have daily action hours. That's why we have hourly reminders of what's good and where are you going now. Like it is celebrate it and then refocus your aim. Where is your intention? Where are you going? And where do you need to be? So I love that that's what we're talking about, because that is the vision for this community, this platform, that OPWP has created this space so that you can come and be in that action hour. You don't have to take action. Your action can be to be still. It can be to read a book, and it can be to make phone calls and go running or whatever it is. But it is for the ebbs and flows. And I think that is the vision for how this was created, was that we all get our own needs met, and we infuse it with human connection, quick human connection, and the ability to collaborate in the moment. So that's super fun, because that is the vision of what we've created here.
Yeah, and I've sort of like done a jujitsu move and flipped it back on myself and started to ask myself the question of like, how am I serving others if I'm demonstrating a life of like putting everyone else first? And where can I inspire others to take action for themselves or take that time to replenish themselves as an act of service?
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that you say the jujitsu, because that's actually something I just brought up to my husband, and I'm like, I think I want to learn jujitsu. I can barely say it, but I want to learn that because so that's funny that you say that. I'm paying attention. Okay, we're at the top of the hour, so I'm going to pause here. So we are at the top of the third vision hour today. And I was going through the process of thinking about my vision over the last couple days throughout the weekend and now in the beginning of the week. And one of the things that I wrote down from some content that I was consuming was preparedness is the antidote to fear. And I loved this for a couple reasons. One, I am someone that gets comfort from feeling prepared in some way. I don't have to have all of the answers, but I do have to have direction, which I think is healthy. And so when I read, I think I heard it, I think it was on a podcast. When I heard them say preparedness is the antidote to fear, I was like, that hit me, because that's definitely how I feel about fear in, when we're thinking about our bigger visions and what we're wanting to do and how we are wanting to show up as who we are in our world, with our vision in mind. Right? Fear comes to mind. I'm sure it does, needing to know that we must have courage to take action towards our vision. I thought preparedness is the antidote to fear. And it definitely made me think about the courageous moves to get there in anything that we're doing. But since we are in the vision hour, I thought that would be appropriate to discuss too, right? Like, are you someone that needs to feel prepared, or can you wing a lot of things and decide quickly that you want to do something that and when you're on the right path, like when it's aligned, right? Because I think that's what it always goes back to, is the question, well, if it feels right, then it's easier to take a step. And with this specific line in mind, I believe that to be true, but only when we're aware that we feel more confident, right, in taking the step towards XYZ, because we have that sense of feeling prepared and equipped and ready to, take on whatever's around the corner and have the ability and agility to pivot when we need to, along our journey of, our life or a business or whatever it is that we're growing and focused on for our vision. So curious if there's any thoughts around preparedness is the antidote to fear relating to your vision.
Can you say it again? I was typing back to the thing.
Preparedness is the antidote to fear. So wondering if there was anything that came up for you around that and relating to like your vision.
Yeah, I really like that. Like, it hit me, it struck me because it struck me for you specifically because fearless is something that, everything is about being fearless, and then being prepared, having that preparation, that sense of preparation. Like it just was big flashing lights that sits well with me. For you, it doesn't strike me as deeply, but because those aren't like keywords, you know what I mean, in my life. They're keywords in my life for you, and not necessarily for myself, but I can see how it is the best anecdote, is that when you're prepared, then you can be fearless.
So thinking about you and your vision, then, like, how do you have the courage to keep moving towards your vision?
That's a really great question. Having the courage to continue to move towards my vision, for me, it's thinking of the lives that will be changed, my life, but then also the lives around me that need what I have, like that need my words, that need who I am. So I don't know what that equates to.
Impact.
Yeah. Knowing that there will be an impact. Yeah.
That there's
And
a
that,
purpose
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
And that there's a meaning and a reason, you know, for
Yeah.
doing the thing, whatever needs courage.
Yeah. Yep. Like knowing that it matters, knowing the reason behind it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's purpose. Mm-hmm.
Well, that brings us to 10 after the hour. So we will pause and go do our intentions and see you back at 10 to the hour.
We have 4 magic minutes to mastermind. And Suze, I would love to invite you and encourage you to share about where you were getting held up in the last hour with like mindset around designing that we can support you with.
So I get to design a cover page that we will be promoting as a freebie on our website. And so it's to attract people to opt in, you know, to be able to know more about OP. And it's our daily focus sheet. So it is one of the things that we use in the journal, but I made it weekly for the journal. And so there's a daily one that can be printed out. And in that, designing a cover sheet, like, I've never done it before. So I get stuck in what I haven't done before because I want to make sure that it's what it needs to be and that it represents us well and that the wording is what it needs to be and all of that stuff. So I go into a new space of design.
And I've never designed a cover sheet either, but my first thought was like, well, what's so different about a cover sheet than creating a page inside? And it is the first thing they see, it is to draw them in. But Foxy, I know you have created like cover sheets for your workbooks. If you have any thoughts to share.
Yeah, I have a couple questions so I can understand fully what you're doing. But so this is gonna be like a booklet that they download.
So it'll be a PDF. So it'll be a cover sheet and then a couple of the daily focus sheets. So maybe like a week's worth or something like that of the daily focus sheets.
So usually what I have found and how I've created ours is that there's a picture of you guys, and then there's some explanation of what is behind it.
Yeah.
Right. So and it's really just like it's really just like a big page that's branding
Right.
the packet. So I think that it's really simple. And so maybe there is some overthinking going on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I mean, you guys already have like your key phrases. And so I would just keep it simple, you know. Personally, that's what we do. We have a picture and then it says what's behind it. And what we have is, I mean, what we do them for is our workshop packets. So it like says the name of the workshop and it has our logo and it has a picture of us. And then our tagline is bridging you from where you are to where you want to be.
Mhm.
So, you know, yours could be like stronger together, or, you know, where you always have someone, or,
Mhm.
you know, just something like that. And you could make it like Shelly's been coming on so much. It's so exciting. You could make it graph, you know, because you like to have like things, you know, kind of like in different places, you know, not just like boom, boom, boom. So
Yeah.
you could play with that, you know, where
Yeah.
you could show like multiple phrases, and they could be just kind of like scattered throughout the
Yeah.
page with you guys like in the middle or something. Those are just ideas that I've had. And then you guys like to border,
Yeah.
have that square border, so you could do that. So that's
Okay.
kind of just what's
Awesome.
coming up for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love the ideas. And I think you're right. It's more simple, and love the ideas. We're gonna put a pin in our brainstorming sesh here and hand the reins over to the Live on Purpose